Hey, what's going on? My name is Henry, and you're watching Game Theory. I'm just joking. Today we're going to be doing something a little different, actually really different from what we usually do. I own two pairs of gaming headsets, the Turtle Beach Stealth 520s and the Sennheiser Game 1 headset, and I was wondering how much better do gaming headsets actually make you, or even if they make you better at all. So I looked online and I found nothing. The only thing I found were people talking about what they thought of it, but no real evidence. So today we're going to be seeing in real numbers what kind of sound is best for playing the newest first-person shooter, Call of Duty World War II. The first thing I wanted to do was get a baseline measurement of where my skills are at as a player, so we could use that to compare the rest of the data to.
This is called a control for all you youngins out there.
I played 10 games of free-for-all matches without any sound, absolutely nothing. I still wore my open back gaming headset, so comfort would not be a variable. After that, I thought, you know what? I always feel like I play better with some of my favorite music going on in the background. So I played another 10 games of free-for-all with my favorite music playing, and then another 10 games with audio coming from mono speaker system, and then another 10 games with the Turtle Beach headsets, and then I took a break because I was getting tired of playing. But after that, I played another 10 games with the Sennheiser headset, and guys, you will not believe what I uncovered from the data. Yeah, this is average game time for all 50 games. Cool, right? I'm joking. You might be thinking right now, why is it important to know the average game time for each type of game I played? Well, it's here for two reasons. One, so we can see that most of the times are pretty close to each other, so we can establish that there is no outlier audio variable. And two, since they are so close to each other and do pertain to real life data, we can use this to find our margin of error percentage. What does that mean? Well, since I'm testing everything out with actual players in real games, not just with bots or something.
What is my purpose?
You pass butter.
Oh my god.
If I play two games at the exact same skill level, but other players in the game do better in one game, it's going to make it seem like I did worse in that game, even though I was playing at the same skill level. And if I died an extra 2 times in that game, it's not because of the different audio, it's because of other variables that I'm not able to control, and we can chalk that up to an error.
Okay. You know what I'm talking about? Okay.
But we have to have a margin of error, so if 2 data points are within that margin, we can just say that they're the same. Now, I did try to limit as many variables as I could, like I mentioned earlier in the video. Whenever I played with music or with the speaker system, I still wore my open back headset so that comfort level would be the same throughout the test. And since they are open back headsets, I can still hear everything around me. I also tried to minimize inconsistencies by playing 10 games of each different type of audio setup and averaging the total of those 10 games so we can have a more reliable set of data, along with not changing my loadout and taking breaks whenever I felt like I was starting to get tired. I feel like we got some pretty reliable data, but even with all those precautions, we're still going to have some errors, and that's where our oh so important margin of error percentage comes in, which is
Could you please hurry the fuck up? Thank you very much, and have a blessed day.
15.29%, which is pretty big, but that's okay. I mean, we do have a small sample size of 1, and even though I did play 50 games, that's still pretty small. Let's go ahead and start off with one of the most telling charts that I have over here, the average position in the ladder. So if you've never played a multiplayer first-person shooter game before, they measure you against other players in the match and grade you from first to last. So as you can see here, it seems pretty even except for the 2 gaming headsets, but are they outside the margin of error?
Yeah, they are. It's pretty bad for the Game 1 headset.
It did 32.95% worse than the 3 in the center, and that's not including the 520 headset, because that is also outside the margin of error at a positive 28.04% change, which is good. It shows that they are actually having an effect in the game. Maybe not the one that you want, but it's doing something. Now, it's not all bad for the Game 1 headset. If you take a look at the average death chart, you can clearly see that it did nothing, which, I mean, it's better than making something worse, I guess. But as you can also see, the 520s did significantly reduce the amount of deaths in the game. But by how much, you ask? Again, they lowered deaths by 31.79%, which is crazy that a pair of headsets can have that much of an effect on your play. Now, before I bring this next one up, I did want to clarify that I'm not associated in any way with either of these headset manufacturers. The only brand I am associated with is Razer. I am affiliated with them, but they are not in this video, so I don't have any conflict of interest in this video. And even if Razer was in this video, I would be giving them the same treatment because science doesn't lie.
How the hell did that get through peer review?
Okay, this is the average kills per audio setup. As you can see, surprisingly, playing with music has made a significant change in the average kills. Unfortunately, not quite enough to escape that ever so present margin of error, so we'll just add that to our average kills, which is 16.96 kills per match. And with that, Sennheiser falls again barely outside the margin of error at a decrease in kills of 16.83%. And actually, it's such a coincidence that that is the same percentage that the 520s beat out the average as well, except in the positive direction. Now, if you're getting a little bit too confused with all these numbers, I understand. I would be too if I didn't work an entire week with it, but I think this next chart will really clear things up and show how much of a difference the gaming headsets have made. Yeah, it's pretty clear that the 520 Stealth headset is a little bit better than the rest. But hold on, when I first saw this chart, I was 100% sure that I had made a mistake somewhere. There's no way a pair of gaming headsets can increase your KDR by that much. I figured I had made a mistake somewhere and accidentally wrote down the wrong number. Luckily, I recorded all 50 of the games except for one of them, which was in the speaker section of the test, so it wouldn't have affected the Turtle Beach portion. So let's go ahead and check where I made the mistake. No, no, that's 3. Yeah, that's a 3. No, that's actually 2.31. Okay. Okay, so luckily I did plan ahead for a situation like this. My theory right now is, since I didn't change my loadout throughout the maps, there are some maps that are more favorable to the loadout I chose. So here we go, let's go ahead and average the KDRs on each map and see what we got. Yes, we had 3 games in the Flag Tower with the Turtle Beach. That proves it. The only reason we had such a high KDR is because we had so many games in that one specific map and it was more favorable towards the loadout. But hey, that's just a theory.
A game theory. Thanks for watching.
No. If you look at the timeline, we're still not done. Okay, so at first sight, it might seem like that's the reason, but if we take a closer look at the map's KDR, we can see that most of our Flag Tower data is coming from the Turtle Beach games, which means that it's going to be positively skewed. So we have to take away the Turtle Beach KDRs from the Flag Tower average KDR, and that gives us a new Flag Tower KDR of 0.77, which kind of throws that theory out the window. The maps had little to do with the positive change in the Turtle Beach's average, and if we take a look at the Sennheiser map KDR, it also comes out with the same false positive that maps had anything to do with low and high KDR for the test. But maps aren't the only contributors that can change your quality of play. It also has to do with the time of day that you played, and if we take a look at when I did the Turtle Beach test, we can see that it was in a block of time from 2 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. So now all we have to do is cross-check the times that I played 2 to 4, and there should be a positive skew for those times. So let's go ahead and do a little bit of mathematical magic, and we see that, yeah, there's no correlation there either. So what we're looking at here seems to be legitimate. Just to close out the video, I did try to limit as many variables as I could, but near the end I was starting to get tired of recording all that footage, and the first 6 matches I played with the Sennheiser headset, I was extremely tired.
Hello?
But still continued. I probably should have not done that. I was also anxious to get the testing over with so I could actually start looking at the data. Not to mention I played them after I played the Turtle Beach headsets, so I could have had a false expectation of what these headsets could have done for me. However, even with all these mistakes, the last 4 matches I played still lined up with the rest of the audio matches, excluding the Turtle Beaches. So even though they were lower, I don't think if I were able to do them over again, it would be any better than the 3 other audio setups. The conclusion is that yes, the Turtle Beach 520 stealth headsets are better at a game like World War II. However, they were extremely bass heavy. I was able to hear footsteps a lot better and able to pinpoint them without any hesitation. But if you were to use these in other uses like listening to music or watching movies, it's not going to give you an accurate sound. Also, I did want to note that just having that punchier bass with the Turtle Beaches felt more immersive. Whenever I heard gunshots or footsteps, I got startled, and I think that also helped with my reaction time. The Sennheiser headsets are open back. They are really bad at precise audio locations. A lot of times when I was trying to listen to footsteps, I got confused by where they were coming from. Does that mean that these headsets are bad for competitive gaming?
Well, yeah, they are.
You're not going to be able to track people audibly with these headsets, but Sennheiser doesn't make gaming headsets. They make studio quality neutral sounding headsets, and that's not what you need while playing games. And probably most surprising to me was that not having audio and having audio made no difference. The reason I think this is because if you're listening to the sound from your TV speakers, you're left with the same problem of not being able to pinpoint footstep sounds. You're still having to react to visual cues, and even though intuitively it might seem like not having sound is a detriment, there are a lot of sounds throughout the map that distract you. You wouldn't get these distractions without audio, so I think the benefits and cons cancel each other out in that respect. I want to thank you guys for watching if you made it all the way to the end, and I did want to mention that I do have footage for 49 of the 50 matches, so if you wanted me to release those just so you could take a look at them and draw your own conclusions, I could do that. Like I mentioned in the video, I did have some issues with the testing portion on the Sennheiser headset, so if this gets enough interest, I could do another test to see if anything comes out different. Let me know if anyone is interested in that, but yeah, thanks for watching, and Merry Christmas.
Starbucks is trying to take Christmas.